Welcome to Leadership Legacy Radio, where we inspire you to live your dreams, encourage you to take massive action, and be your authentic and genuine self. We focus on 3 pillars. That's empowering youth, equipping leaders, and enriching marriages so that you can go out and dominate your space.
If you're ready to dominate, you're listening to the right show. This is the Leadership Legacy Radio. Now let's go. Let's go.
Hey y'all, how you doing? Coming to you live, checking in, trying to see how y'all doing tonight. Want to check in with you, and I want to talk to you. I didn't put anything in the title because I'm coming to you straightforward and connected. I want to talk to you about something that's extremely important to your success, your business, your relationships, specifically your marriage, the relationship that you have with your kids, with your family, and with anybody that's important to you. So as soon as you check in and you let me know where you are checking in from, truly appreciate y'all letting me know where you're checking in from. All right, so my name is Coach Chris. I'm going to be unlocking some secrets for you guys. Today, I'm going to talk to you about one essential element. It has 3 components, and it's probably going to change the way that you do everything, right? And that is how do you press the reset button in your life? One of the things that's extremely important to understand is that reset button isn't an easy button. It isn't something that you can just get up and press and think is going to be automatic. It's automatic in your mind, but it's not automatic to your surroundings. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 points that are super, super essential to your success. So the first thing that I want to talk about is focus. Why do you need to know how to reset? And it has to do with your focus, with clarity. You need to be really clear as to why you're doing what you're doing. A great example is, why are you married? Are you married just to say that you're married? Are you married because you truly believe and love the person that you're with? Most people fall into love. They are in love with someone, right? With their spouse. How did you get there? You got there because you were really clear as to who you wanted to be with. You were really clear as to how you wanted to get there, right? So what ends up happening is you're married or you start a relationship, and then you understand that this individual is for me. Oh, we got a special guest joining us. And so what I wanted to kind of encourage you to do is get really clear as to why you want to be married. So me and Sharita did an exercise a few months ago where we kind of dug deep into our relationship, our why. Our why for our relationship. Why do I want this relationship to work? Why do I want to make sure that I have an amazing relationship? And when you truly get focused and get clear as to why it's important to you to have an amazing relationship, an abundant relationship, one that's filled with love, encouragement, passion, commitment, intimacy, all of these things are powerful. But the problem is we often forget why. We lose focus. We lose clarity. Do you know why most people miss targets? And me and Sharita were joking about this the other day. Do you remember why most people miss targets, miss goals, miss, kind of things?
You say blurred vision?
Blurry vision, right? So that's why we started to wear glasses, because we want to have clear vision.
Want to be clear.
We want to be clear in our vision. I want to know without a shadow of a doubt what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how I'm going to do it, right? So one of my favorite sayings, and I got this from somebody, and I started, kind of adapting it as my own, is, what you did to get him, what you did to get her will not keep her. And one of the things that me and Sharita were studying recently, it was a marriage program, and the guy talked about your love, the love that we provide for our spouses ends every day at midnight, and it begins every day. So, if I do something out of love and affection for Sharita, that's great for today. tomorrow I have a brand new opportunity to show her that I love her. And I have to consistently show her that I love her to continuously fill up her tank. And it's the same for everything that we're doing, right? You have to get really clear, really focused as to where you're going to make sure that your business, your relationship, your job, your performance is at the peak performance, because every day you have an opportunity to excel. What is your relationship with excellence? She said no. All right.
No, that's good. I
Hey,
like that. Just
hey,
you talking
yeah,
about resetting.
yeah.
Hey,
Hey, Deb.
yeah.
And so the next thing that I want to talk about is, we're still talking about focus. We're still talking about clarity, right? So this is the first part to reset your life. So let's shift from relationship very quickly to like a business, right? Or a goal that you have in
Like
mind.
a personal goal.
A personal goal, right? What's one of the most important things that you can do for a goal, a vision, a thing that you have? One of the most important things that you can do is create a future memory of what you desire. What do I mean? Most people tend to look in the rearview mirror to evaluate and tell them where they're going. Okay, you do not want to look in the rearview mirror to tell you where you're going. Hey, Teresa. And why is that important? Because the results from yesterday, just like we just talked about, the results from yesterday are going to determine your destination tomorrow. So what do you need to do? Okay, I want to have an amazing relationship with my wife. So I need to write that down. I need to write down the amazing relationship that I want to have with my wife. What does that look like to me? So every day I need to create that vision of what I want for me and my wife. Okay, I want to have a romantic relationship. I want to have, fun with my wife. I want to create great memories. I want to make sure that every day that I come home, not only do I greet her the way that I want to be greeted, but I greet her the way that she wants to be greeted, right? So I create all of these things in my mind by writing it down and telling myself, okay, this is what I'm going to do today for my relationship, because I want to have that amazing relationship where we travel the world together, we love each other, we spend time with the kids all the time, we do these different things. And, Sharita's done a really good job of doing this. So, some of the things that we've tried to start doing recently is doing more intentional things with our kids, doing more intentional things with each other, taking a day off just to spend time with each other, going to the movies together, going bowling together, doing these different things to create memories, but also to create the future that we desire to see, that outcome that we want to see. Like when our kids leave our home, we want them to know what a beautiful relationship looks like. How I treat Sharita is what my boys are going to think is okay for them to do with women. How I treat Sharita is what my daughter is going to think is okay for her to be treated like. So what type of example, what type of future am I creating right now? What am I designing and imprinting on my children's lives so that when they move forward, they have a dynamic future? Because think about this. Most women look to their father as a figure of what a man should look like. So if he's abusive, if he's disrespectful, if he just stays at home and just lays around on the couch, that's what they're going to look for. That's what's going to be okay with them. Same thing with the women. If they do the same things, that's what your son is going to look for. So realize that every day we have an opportunity to create a future memory. Don't look to the past, but look to the future. What type of life do you want to live? What type of relationship do you want to have? What type of job do you want to have? What about the business you want to build? Where are you setting your goals? Are you telling yourself, like most people say, I want to have $1 million? No. Why do you want to have $1 million? Why do you want to do it? Why do you want to have that type of money? Like, stop setting arbitrary goals, like these blurry goals that you can't hit. Okay, think about it like this. I want to live in a house and be very specific. I want a 4-bedroom house so that My wife and I can have a bedroom. The kids can all have a bedroom. So wait a minute. So if all the kids have a bedroom, okay, now let's future pace. I want to have a 5-bedroom house because I want to be able to have your mom come visit us, or my mom come visit us, or these things. So we want to have a 5-bedroom house. So when the kids come to visit, once they leave the nest, they have a place, right? Mm-hmm. So write down exactly what you want in your house. Okay, so how much is that house worth? Okay, that house is worth 250,000 or 350,000. Okay, so how much is that monthly payment? Write that down. Get very specific. Then ask yourself, what kind of car do I want to drive? Then get very specific as to the type of car you want to drive, how much it's going to cost to drive that car, and what the monthly payments are. As you start writing down these goals, you might see that $250,000 a year is more than enough to sustain that lifestyle that you want. And you don't need to be going for a crazy goal that's $1 million. But you may be going through and getting these figures dialed in, and you might say, you know what? $1 million might be exactly what I need to not only live the life that I want, but to also bless others. So how can you, like, what is your purpose? What is your why? So coming back, if you missed a target today, I want to do something today. I want to create this memory of the lifestyle that I want. So we want to live in a nice home, let's say, for example, in the Caribbean, and we want to have these things. Okay, so write it down. And if I missed that goal today by saying, okay, I didn't get clear in my vision, hey, Sharita, help me. Let's get clear as to what we want our marriage to look like. Okay, Chris. Okay, let's get real dialed in. We want to be out of debt by this month. We want to be financially free with no debt. We want to be debt free, right? And then what we want to start doing is, as soon as we start doing that, not only do we want to tithe a certain amount, we want to start sowing a certain amount. We want to start blessing somebody a certain amount. So write that down. Get really clear as to why you need something, right? Get that clarity. Like, it's not $1 million, but why do you need $1 million? Why is that number important to you? Who can you serve with that $1 million?
Mm-hmm. And I really like that. You had a couple comments up there that really went along the lines of what you're saying. Talking about, we are creators.
Oh, yes.
As human beings,
Mm-hmm.
we're just creators.
Mm-hmm.
So with being creators, we have the ability, we have the opportunity to create the things that we want in life.
Yep.
So the kind of relationship that you want, you have to create it. Creating a marriage by design, something that Christian and I, really work, hard on, with business wise, but in our relationship as well. Creating a marriage by design, creating a life by design. You have that power, that authority to create the things that you want to have in life. And fortunate for us as human beings, we get that. You know what I mean? Like, animals don't get that. They get what they get. They get what they're born into. But us as human beings, we are creators.
Yes.
So with thinking about what Christian is talking about, with having clarity, having that future memory, you haven't gotten to it yet, but writing it down, being very specific about what you want. That's how you create it. That's how you create exactly what you desire.
Yeah.
It's not just going to happen by chance, because if you wait for that to happen, it may not ever happen. So I encourage you, don't sit back and just wait for things to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people think that, okay, I'm gonna wait for this perfect person to come in my life, to walk into my life, or for me to meet that person by chance. Let's not take chances on that. Create what you want.
Yes.
So, men being visual, more so than women being, auditory.
Yeah.
We like to hear all these things. Men are visual. They want to see, certain things. So, if a man has this vision of what he wants his spouse to look like, guess what? He's a creator. That's what he needs to create in his spouse as the head of his household, as a man. You know what I mean? Like, I envision having this woman that's blah, blah, blah. So let me help her get there. Let me help her, be a better speaker. Let me help her be, these things that, I envision her to be.
Yes.
And you see that, a lot. Like, the things that I may do now aren't necessarily what I used to do before I met Christian. He's helped me with so many different areas, in my life. So it's just so much power in just knowing that we are creators, and the things that you want, the outcome you want, you have to create it. And you have that power and that authority to do that.
You're welcome, by the way.
Usually people wait till you say thank you.
So check this out. So one of the things that I want you guys to know is so there's a comment in here, right? And I'm gonna post this up here. So Debbie said, I wish I could create or could do in business what I have in my marriage, and you absolutely can. That's where we're gonna go to next. So right now, if you want to create a powerful shift in your business, in your marriage, in your life, get a vision board. Write down what you desire right now. Very quickly, I was probably 24. I don't remember how old I was. And I've shared this before. I had wrote down in an envelope what I wanted to accomplish by the age of 30. I literally wrote it down. Physically wrote it down. I didn't say it. I didn't kind of like share it with people. I wrote down specifically what my goals were. I wrote every single one of them down. Sharita ended up finding the envelope, right? It was in a sock drawer. I just kind of hid it. She asked me if she can look at it. I said, I just don't want you to tell me because it says don't open till I'm 30. She goes through and she opens the envelope and she was like, wow, you've hit every one of your goals. That's awesome. When did you write this down? And I don't remember if the date was on there, but that's irrelevant. What is relevant is when you write your goals down, your mind starts to work towards those goals. So whatever goal you desire, whatever dream you have, do not put God in a box and don't put yourself in a box. You have no limits. Listen, as big as your goals are, once you're done with those, you're going to be like, okay, maybe I should have wrote a little bit higher. Maybe I should have I've done a little bit bigger. Because I'll tell you what, like those goals, they were small. Like thinking now, I was like, man, I should have aimed a lot higher. I should have wrote that $1 million down. I should have, but you need to have a purpose as to why. Why did you want to have that? And I was really clear as to why I wanted the things that I wanted, right? And so you need to get really clear as to why you want to do it. You want to serve more people? Then write it down. I want to be able to bless somebody in their life. There's so many people struggling in the world. If I can get to this place in my life where I can bless this person or this person and financially take them to a whole nother level that they may have not even thought of or imagined in their life, that is what God is calling me to do. So be able to do that by writing the vision. And when you do that, I promise you, there's two things that are going to happen. You're going to have power on your side because when you write it down, the desires of your heart, Scripture says, like he will give it to you, right? The desires of your heart, as long as it's in his will. So write it down. Because most of the time, our intentions are good. Our motives are good. The problem is we need to get the right priority, right? So focus in on that prayer, write down your goals, and I promise you, you will get that one goal, that the goal that you desire. Write it down, all right? So we talked about why it's important to reset and get very focused on your goals, to have that clarity, to have that future memory, and to make sure that you write your goals down, to have a vision board. All right, now we're going to transition to why it's important that you reset and have commitment to your goal, right? I want you to make sure that you understand why you do what you do. Like you have to have a why, because when life gets tough, when nobody believes in you, when everything seems to be going the wrong way, you have to be able to dig back deep and find out why. Why is my marriage important to me? My marriage is important to me because, and you go back to that deep why. My relationship is important to me because of the legacy I want to leave. Because how I want my kids to see an example that is not only going to help them be a good example, but have them have a healthy relationship, and to have them treat people in their relationship the way that they should be treated. The one thing that I would encourage you to do, most people will say, oh, you want to, I want to give my kids, more than what I had. You know what? You know what I want to give kids, my kids specifically? A great example. I want them to see me as that example, that husband that they should be, that husband that they should chase after, that role model that they should be in work, the type of person that they should be when they see them out in public, of character, the type of spouse that I am, the type of father that I am, the type of communicator that I am, like all of these things. So every day I have an opportunity to show them how committed I am to being a good role model, how committed I am to being a good father, to being a good husband. Am I going to get it right every day? Absolutely not. But you know what? Yesterday ended last night. Guess what I got today? A new opportunity. You're welcome. Come out and crush it every day. Be committed. Like, just because you didn't get it today, ask yourself, how can I do it tomorrow?
And I just listening to you, is so encouraging. And I don't know who this is for, but we have to remember, just talking about relationships. Yeah. That's not what we came up here to talk about. No, today by any means, but we all are a product of a relationship. Yes. Right? We all stem from relationships. So your relationship is extremely important. Yes. Our future in this world is based on the foundation, what happens in your home. You know what I mean? Everything, it needs to go back to that foundation that you have at home, because what we create, the examples that we set at home, will dictate what we're putting out into the world. You know what I mean? Like, because our kids, they're going to go out into the world and be, a product of whatever it is that we've created, whatever it is that we've allowed. And not saying that we have, that control over them, because you can have the best kind of examples at home and still go out and make bad decisions and everything. But it's because you have a choice. But it is our responsibility to set the right example. We talked about that a few weeks ago, the example that you set, to set the right example, to do the teaching, and to, to set that foundation here. I saw a post today that somebody posted, and I loved it, talking about, us giving control over the schools and relying on the schools to teach our kids values. It starts at home. I'm a big advocate, of that. Like, it starts at home, and it's so important that at home, this is the foundation for everything, for what's going to happen in that future business, for whoever the future presidents are going to be. Guess what? That's influenced by what happens in their home, what their parents did or did not do.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so powerful, because one of the things that I think about is, did I, and this is what I want you to ask yourself, did I do what it takes to be successful? Did I do what it takes? Am I doing what it takes? You are a creator. You are a powerful creator. The problem that tends to happen is that we don't believe in how much influence we have. We don't realize how much power we have, and we underestimate our ability to create. You have the opportunity and the ability to create a marriage that you desire, a business that you desire, a life that you desire, a workplace that you desire. And it all starts with yourself and your commitment. Are you willing to do what it takes? Absolutely. Sometimes it takes listening. Sometimes it takes creating. Sometimes it takes, discipline. Sometimes it takes, diplomacy. Whatever it takes, are you doing what it takes?
Sometimes it takes doing absolutely nothing. Being still and just being your best. Because you can't control what other people do or do not do, what they say or don't say, or, how they show up. You know what I mean? Like, like I said earlier, the things that you want, you create them. You set your goals, and you write out that vision, and you make it plain. You write it out, because guess what? I joke with Christian a lot, like, I'm not gonna wait for nobody to encourage me. He's like, okay, usually other people will wait for somebody else to say that about them. Nope, I'm not gonna wait for nobody to encourage me. You know what I mean? If I need encouragement, I'm going to encourage myself, because guess what? if I have to wait on somebody else and depend on somebody else, it might not happen. What I need, I may be waiting for a long time. What I need right now, it may not happen. Somebody else may not give it to me. So what am I going to do if I need it? What am I going to do? Am I going to wait for it? Am I going to suffer? You know what I mean? The consequences of not having it, if it is something that I need in my life because somebody else, you know, doesn't give it to me. We have to stop being, you know, we need each other. We're definitely designed to do life together, but not everybody is going to be on your side. Not everybody's called to be on your team or just in your life. We have different seasons in our life that some people are called to be in our life in particular seasons. And then in other seasons, guess what? They're not meant to be in that season of our life. And we have to be okay with that. And I like what Deborah said.
Put it up there?
Yep. Deborah said, oftentimes we must learn
to leave.
We must learn others. Leave others we love behind to live our dreams. Then pray they will one day see and understand. And that's all you can do. Yep. That's absolutely all you can do. We have to recognize the power of prayer. Sometimes just in our everyday lives, I'm learning to, you know what? Speak the truth in love. Give people what they need. You know what I mean? In love, if I'm called to do it at that time. Because sometimes, even though you see somebody messing up or acting up, guess what? It's not the right time to share with them. Yeah. The Bible talks about trying to correct a fool. You know what I mean? They're going to think they're wise. They're going to think they're wise. So you know what? Yeah. You let them do what it is that they do. You know, you can't do anything, you know, about that. And sometimes when we are called to speak up and we are called to say something, we give that word and then we just pray. Yep. That's it. Because guess what? Who's going to do the working and the changing and giving that understanding and revelation? It's not going to be us. Yep. Sometimes I give some really good advice, I'm telling you, to my kids. And it's like, wow. Yeah.
They're not
but
ready
that's
for
all
it.
I can do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And so one of the things that I truly want to encourage you on when it comes to commitment is understanding that sometimes the only thing that you can do and the only thing that you can focus on is the change that you can create in yourself. Yep. You know, how can I change to reach my goal? Am I committed and willing to change to make the difference that I desire to see? Like, listen, I cannot change Sharita. I cannot change Deontay. I cannot change Jalen. I cannot change Genesis. But what I can do is change how I show up, change how I approach the situation. One of the things, and you know, I'm gonna, you know, spill a little secret with y'all. Part of one of our programs that we teach, right, is like the power of prayer, right? And one of the things that you want to be careful for and be mindful of is how I used to pray, right? I would pray, Lord, change her. Lord, help her. Lord, help her see my ways. Lord, help her understand me. Lord, you know, she needs help right now. Lord, you know, I encourage you to change, you know, her heart, Lord. But that's not how we're supposed to pray, right?
How did that work out?
So that didn't work out really well. Now, when I decided to help me see what it is that I'm doing wrong, help me become better, help me understand, help me change, help me open up my eyes, open up my ears, help me become better. That is powerful. So change. The last thing, this is what you need. If anything else fails, to reset, right? You need to have the right, what? Mindset. All right. So there's 3 things here. You got to have that internal change, right? The internal compass, the internal mindset, like focus on how this helps me, right? So the mindset, how does this help me? How does this help me become better? How does this help me become a better steward, a better steward of my finances, a better steward of my business, a better leader? How does this help me become clearer in my vision? How does this help me become a better husband? How does this help me? So that internal mindset of how does this help me so that I can serve, right? The second thing is external, right? The external mindset. How can I serve others at the highest level? How can I change somebody's life? How can I impact somebody's world? How can I help them? Whether it's just listening, whether it's an encouraging word, whether it's a live, whether it's a I hear you, whether it's I understand you, whether it's I love you, whatever it is, what can you do to serve others at a high level? What can you do to change the world for somebody today? Encouraging word. It's not that hard.
Absolutely. And it's so important that we get our mindset, together, that we transform our minds, in that scripture. But just overall, just transforming our minds, because guess what? Everything external, even if that changes, if you still have the same mindset, you're going to end up back in the same place that you were before.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to sustain the changes that you have made, or to be able to keep the blessings or whatever it is that you've worked hard to get. You think about somebody that goes on a fitness journey and loses a lot of weight, gets in the best shape of their lives, and then they turn around, and once they get there, once they have it, they start eating donuts every day. They start eating fast food every day. They're going to get back to where they started before they even started that fitness journey. Like, we cannot, like you said at the beginning, we have to stay focused and remind ourselves every day why we're doing it, what we're doing. We have to be fully committed. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sit there and live off of yesterday's victories. You can't live off of, what you did yesterday. The workout you did yesterday, guess what? It has absolutely nothing to do with today. You eating healthy yesterday has nothing to do with today. The work you did on your business today yesterday has absolutely nothing to do with today. The love, like Christian gave that example, the love that you showed your spouse, guess what? That ended at midnight last night. It has nothing to do with today. So if you didn't do it today, guess what? Yesterday don't count. That means you did nothing today to help you reach your goals, to help you create what you want. We talked about, like us being creators. And in order to create something, guess what? You have to do something every single day. What we do every day will dictate the outcome of what we're trying to create. It will influence, it will help build what we're trying to create. Jalen's been playing, Minecraft. He's like, oh, this is old, but I like it. You know what I mean? You're creating. You have to create, you have to build, and it takes work every single day. And it's not bad work. You know what I mean? Sometimes we hear the word work and we get upset about it. We get, you know what I mean? We get scared. Listen, whenever I talk about chores to my kid, like I have to start using a different word. Like you know what I mean? Because you'd say work and it's like, it's a threat. So it's not bad work. Christian likes to say, marriage isn't work, you know what I mean? But it is, but we don't call it work. You have to work on it every day. But if you love doing it, it won't feel like work. It's something that you have to build, you have to create.
Yeah, and so I'll share a secret right before we close. So one of the things that I want you to understand, and what Sharita is kind of alluding to, is there's two different types of stress. There's eustress, and then there's distress. Distress is hard, it's tough, it makes you not want to do it, right? And then eustress is that euphoric feeling that you get. Like sometimes you get it when you're trying to work on a deadline, or say for example, you're trying to get this goal, and once you hit that goal, you're like, it's like running, right? You're a track star. The stress that you get before the race, the stress that you get during the race to win, that is a motivating eustress.
Yeah.
The bad stress is, the pressure of not making the team. You're stressed out, like, oh, I didn't make the team. And like all of these things are compounding. So understanding that just like fear and excitement can be used the same way, eustress and distress can be used the same way. If you eustress to motivate you, empower you, then you can turn it into a euphoric feeling and help it motivate you, right? So associate doing the chores with something encouraging, right? So the last thing is understanding this. This is the last part of mindset, right? This is a universal thing. If your motives and your intentions are pure when you go out to do something, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for others. Motives and intentions are pure. The I don't want to say this the wrong way. I want to make sure that you understand this. Like, everything that you do, when your heart is in the right place, God is like waiting to bless you just with all these opportunities. And as soon as you show him, I'm doing this to help somebody, I'm doing this to serve somebody, he is just dispatching all of this blessings for you to make and be successful, because he wants you to be a light. He wants you to be a blessing to others. But when you have selfish motives, selfish intentions, it's all about me. It's all about how I can get served. It's all about how I can benefit. Mm-hmm. You'll see why your walk is hindered, why your business is struggling, why your marriage is faltering. It's because you have selfish motives. Like help her, God. Like, help Sharita. She needs help right now. Like, she's not seeing she's not seeing what she needs to see, right? But think about that. Those are selfish prayers. Those were those aren't healthy, but that's what some people do, right? Because we don't understand that prayer is that one conversation, that two-way conversation where you talk, but you should listen more. And God will reveal a lot of things to you. Like, hey, this is where you need to get better in your relationship. This is what I want you to do. And this is going to help you moving forward. So understand that the mindset is critical to your success. So you have internal, external, but you have universal. So that universal commitment to your dreams, that mindset that you need to have is, what are my intentions and what are my motives? Every time I try to do something, I think about, what are my intentions and what are my motives? If my intentions and my motives are pure, then I know that I'm doing the right thing. If I question that at any time, then I'm like, you know what? I need to maybe take a step back. Why am I doing this? Am I doing this for the right reasons? Am I serving this person for the right reasons? Am I helping this person for the right reasons? Mm-hmm. I try to make sure that I run everything through that filter. What are my motives and what are my intentions when I say, do, or think about anything? All right. Absolutely. You got anything else that you wanted to share?
I don't. It's so important that we serve, other people. I heard a guy named Jimmy Evans talk about recently about us being servants, mm-hmm. kind of like using this analogy of us all having this huge utensil.
Oh, yep, on your hands, yeah,
on our hands, and with the huge utensil that sticks out way past your hands, the only person that you can serve is somebody else. You cannot feed yourself mm-hmm. with a utensil that big. So mm-hmm. all you do is serve, other people, serve so everybody else.
You serve me.
You serve me, and if we lived more like that, if we took, at least a little bit more every mm-hmm. day and did something to serve others, our world would be a better place. I feel like we as individuals would be more happy, would be more generous, would mm-hmm. be more grateful. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we're selfish and we're not grateful because we're constantly thinking about ourselves. So that is so important. Continue to serve other people. And if you are serving other people, guess what? Go a step further. Yep. And serve one more person.
Absolutely. So before we close this live, I'm gonna put out this special announcement for you guys. If you're following us, we're gonna be starting to do a lot of our lives on our group page. The group page is going to be an area where you can come in and you can get questions answered. If you're struggling with somewhere in your business, if you're struggling with things in your marriage, we're gonna be doing the same things that we talk about all the time. But this is going to be more focused on helping and serving you guys to the next level. So we're going to focus on business building. We're going to be focused on relationships. So, marriage. And then we're going to be focused on coaching. So these are the things that we want to make sure that we give you specifically the opportunity to ask questions and then get that help that you desire. Mm-hmm. So our lives are going to transition from doing it on my personal page, and we're going to do it in a business page. So we're going to give people an opportunity to go to that page, like that page, and then what you're going to do is you're going to have like a few things that we'll have in there. I will give you access to some free ebooks and stuff, and then we'll also do is provide you guys a lot of things that we are using not only in our business but in our relationship to kind of help you guys go through and just take your business, your relationship, and your life to the next level. So, like I said, our goal is to serve people at the highest level, but we want to do it because that's what we've been called to do together. So we truly appreciate you guys joining in live. My name is Coach Cris.
I am Sharita Martinez.
And we want you to go out and dominate your space. Oh, that's new.